You know, baby birds are really little when they're in the nest, and they don't really do a whole lot until they can learn to fly. And while they're in the nest, do you know what they do? They open up their little beaks like this, and they sing cheep, 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 and they drive their mamas crazy. Now you are a mama bird too. Your head is the mama bird's body, and your arms are the mama bird's wings. So here we go. Are you ready to cheep and to be a mama? Here we go. Mama bird sits on 2 eggs, warming them through wind and rain. Both shells crack and suddenly baby birds sing cheep, 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 cheep. Mama bird works all day long to help her babies grow up strong. She's so tired and needs to sleep, but baby birds sing cheep, 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 cheep. Mama bird can never rest, not with babies in her nest. While they wait for worms to eat, baby birds sing cheep, 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 cheep. Finally the sun sinks low, stars surround the nest below. They are sleeping peacefully till morning comes up with the sun, and mama's work has just begun. Soon they open up their beaks, and baby birds sing cheep, 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 cheep.